So one of the game changers for me has been introducing clay washes into my hair care regimen. And it's really important for me to remind you that clay is suitable for all hair types. It's suitable for natural hair, suitable for relaxed hair, suitable for texlaxed hair, suitable for Caucasian hair, Arab hair, Asian hair, all hair types. In fact, you would find the use of clay, like Rasul clay, for example, much more common in the Moroccan culture. So it is suitable for all hair types, and you can use it irrespective of whatever hair type you have to cleanse your hair. What I typically tell the ladies on my course who want to try it, you can use it instead of a moisturizing shampoo. In my opinion, it cannot be used as a clarifying shampoo, but certainly as a moisturizing shampoo, it gets a thumbs up. So a question I get often is, how do you mix the clay? Now, there are two issues that keep coming up. Either you have clumps in your clay, or you don't know the consistency. And let me take the issue around consistency first. It's a preference issue. So some people like to use it and mix it so that it's more runny in texture, and some people like to mix it so that it's more like a paste or more like a yogurt. I am in the camp of more like a paste, more like a yogurt, as opposed to having it running or loose. But it's really up to you. There's no one size fits all. It's really down to your preference. The issue around how to mix your clay to get it clump free is the one that is a little bit different. Well, it's a little bit tricky rather. And it really depends on what you're mixing your clay with. So on the pack of my clay, it says that you can simply mix it with water, warm water, or cold water. Warm water will get you a little bit less clump, but the bottom line is when you're mixing most clays, either the single clays like the Rasul clay or the bentonite clay, if you mix it with just water, it is likely that you will get it clumping up a little bit. And that's the same with a blended clay like mine, which is Rasul clay, bentonite clay, and kaolin clay. If you mix it with just water, you are likely to get a little bit of clumps or lumps in the mixture. Does that matter? Not really. Aesthetically, of course, I know some people have gotten so bogged down on getting their clays as smooth as possible. But if you have a little bit of lump in there, it doesn't affect the effectiveness of the clay, and it will rinse out just as nicely as long as you make sure you're rinsing out thoroughly. If, however, you want a lump-free, clump-free clay mix, you have to try and use something like an apple cider vinegar in your mix. Adding apple cider vinegar, which is quite acidic, to your clay mix means that you will get it a little bit, you will most likely get a smooth paste. Now, please remember, when you're using something like an apple cider vinegar, do not just mix the clay with apple cider vinegar, because that can cause damage to your hair. This is an acidic product, and it can start to erode the fiber of your hair. So if you're using something like apple cider vinegar, mix a part apple cider vinegar with a part of water, or mix apple cider vinegar with aloe vera juice. So I am showing you today how I love to mix my clay. The first thing that goes in for me is the apple cider vinegar. Mix that with your clay, and it does work and help to get all the smoothness into the clay. And then I add the aloe vera, because I've added something quite acidic. Now I want to add something that is quite moisturizing to the mix. And as I told you earlier, I do prefer for mine to be more of a paste as opposed to something loose and running. And I hope that you can see that, but very quickly it's mixed, it's smooth, there's little clumps or lumps in your clay. Now, this is the point where some people like to add different things. So you will see some people add maybe an essential oil. I'm no longer a fan of advising people to use essential oils because they can pose problems for some people. People think because essential oils are natural that it means that it's completely safe for everyone to use, but that's not always the case with some essential oils. Some people, essential oils can have some of the most potent allergens for some people. So I would say be cautious when you're using essential oils and don't throw them into everything that you're using. So I've mixed my clay with just apple cider vinegar and with the aloe vera juice, and as you can see, it is coming up really smoothly. Some people will add tea tree oil, essential oil, at this stage, which I broadly am in support of. We know that tea tree oil can be antibacterial, so it can be good for such a mix, because obviously you're using it to cleanse your scalp and you're using it to cleanse your hair. And then some people will also add a little bit of an olive oil to this mix before they put it onto their hair. I hope you can see that is nice and smooth and ready to be applied onto the hair. Honestly, the thing that makes it quite easy to mix and smooth is the apple cider vinegar, in the way that it quickly dissolves the clay. So if a smooth paste is what you're after, consider mixing it with apple cider vinegar. But please remember what I said earlier about not using too much apple cider vinegar, making sure it's not just the clay and apple cider vinegar, because apple cider vinegar is acidic. And yes, we know that it does have some amazing properties for scalp health. We also know that because it's acidic, it can erode your hair really quickly. So we don't want you to just mix the clay with apple cider vinegar. Ensure that you're adding water or the aloe vera. Typically, I like to mix mine with aloe vera, apple cider vinegar, a little bit of water I would add if as needed to the mix. So when you are about to mix the clay, make sure you use a glass bowl or a non-metallic bowl. That is the key thing. A non-metallic bowl, and definitely not a metallic spoon to mix the clay. So you can use a wooden bowl or you could use a glass bowl when you're mixing this, the clay. This is so that the metals don't interfere with the clay. And that is it.